Have you ever been prepping for dinner and you ask yourself this question, am I doing this right? Well, you're about to find out, because for the next 15 minutes, Michael Symon is going to show you some prep techniques, some knife skills that could change your cooking game.
Pull up a chair and get ready for a good time with Michael Symon, Carla Hall, and Clinton Kelly. Let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Clinton Kelly. This is Carla Hall.
Hi.
And that is Michael Symon.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I feel so much pressure now. That was a big announcement. I felt big. I felt big.
We make promises around here that we can keep, and I know that you're going to keep the promise that I just made on your behalf.
Extra pressure.
The pressure is the 15 minutes, not the skill.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm just saying, sometimes it's a little long-winded.
The Carla Hall called anyone long-winded.
I know.
Yeah, we're going to run over 15 minutes now because you can't stop laughing.
All right, Michael, what are you planning on showing everybody today?
So I'm going to show some basic knife sharpening skills, and then some basic just how you hold a knife, slicing, dicing, chopping. Because I think it is something that even though I feel everybody has held a knife at some point in their life, that sometimes they just do it wrong, and it makes a lot of people don't like cooking because of what they have to do before they actually get to the pan. And if you get more efficient at knife skills and are using a sharp knife and all those things, it makes the cooking way easier.
Time saving.
Time saving. Can we just talk about the using a sharp knife thing? I have gone to friends' houses and I like to help out with dinner, and from time to time I'm like, how are you cutting anything with these knives? These are terrible.
Yeah.
And if you have a dull knife, you are more likely to cut yourself.
100%.
Because it will slip off of the food and cut your finger.
Yeah, like whenever in the restaurants, whenever like a cook would cut themselves, I would go take care of them first.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I would do is I would go and I'd check their knives. And 95% of the time their knife was dull. Yeah. You know, so like we really got in the habit with our cooks is like before your shift, you sharpen your knives. Like that's just part of being a chef, I feel. It's like these are my tools, you know? So like you go into work, you get your tools ready, and then you start to work with your tools.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna get our tools ready. And now look, at the restaurants and at home for me, I use a whetstone. But a whetstone does take some practice, it takes some time. And when I'm not home, Liz likes a sharp knife too and likes to sharpen her knives. So I got her one of these wheel sharpeners. Yeah. And out of all the sharpeners I've come across, I feel that these are the best ones, not only for, like, a lot of the electric sharpeners will get your knife sharp, but they also will kind of take a lot of steel off your blade. Yeah. So like your chef knife's gonna be a fillet knife in like 3 years. So I feel that this is a little gentler way to go. It holds the one of the hardest things to learn when you're sharpening knives is to get the angle correct and keep the angle consistent. So because these are set up with a magnet, you could put the knife right on there and it holds the angle consistently throughout the sharpening process. And it has a slightly more coarse one, and then it has a fine one. So, you know, you could run
roll it back and forth.
10 times on, you know, one side. And then you could do the same thing on the other side. Wait, I just got backwards there. I'm sorry. There we go. My brain shut off for a second.
I know.
And then on the other side, and it's holding it in place, and you're gonna get a consistent angle and knife.
And so that's the 20% degree, and then the other one is 15.
So it depends, when you purchase your knife, look at, it will typically tell you, based on the style of knife that you have, what degree it should be on. Like the Japanese knives are usually slightly different than the German knives. They also make blocks on these that have like 4 different degrees, so you could really get them tuned into your knife.
Like a slicer may be less than a chef's knife because of bevel. Like Hinkle really has a big bevel. You know, I think it doesn't hold its, the chef's knives doesn't hold its,
yeah, is well, yeah. So, but you could find what works best for you. You literally could Google like the type of knife that you own, and it'll tell you
Tell the
basically the
angle.
basic degree.
What a great Father's Day gift idea.
Yeah, it's a great, you know, and like,
That's like nice.
when I bought, because like Liz was like, well, like I have the whetstones at home. She goes, I'm not using these things,
Yeah.
you know, and like, but this was just a great, easy way. I keep it in our knife drawer with the rest of the knives, and if she needs sharpen, she sharpen. Now, remember, this, a whetstone or like that sharpens a knife. A lot of people think that they're sharpening a knife with a steel. The steel just hones the knife, so it knocks off any burrs and straightens your edge. So this is important throughout the cooking process to use it because it keeps the edge, but it doesn't create an edge.
Right, we should explain what the burr is, because I think it's fascinating. Because when you sharpen the knife, the tip of the not the tip, but the blade itself, actually, when you use it actually microscopically curves over to one side. And then that's called the burr, and you can feel it with your thumb.
Right.
And so you take it off with that.
Take off the burr.
Yeah, that's cool.
See, that's so good. That was very good.
I love sharpening my knives. I do it all the time.
Now, the other thing I think that is important is there are so many knife blocks that, like this thing back here, like but like these things make me crazy. Like there's like 72 different knives in a block, you know, like, Jesus. Like I've been cooking professionally for 40 years. I can promise you that at home, the only 3 knives you are ever gonna need are a chef knife, a bread knife, and a paring knife for the home cook. I have some other fancier knives in the restaurant for, like, I do a ton of butchering and things of that nature, but the home cook does not need more than these 3 knives. If you could choose like a different style for your main chef knife, but like, a chef knife, pick the length that you're more comfortable with, 6, 8, 10, whatever it is. You know, a good serrated and a paring, you're golden.
Yeah.
You know, the grandma knife.
Yeah.
I know, right?
And I do 90% of everything with my chef knife, but like, it's nice to have a serrated for like, you know, tomatoes. I think like a serrated knife is a good tomato knife also. Obviously, it's good for bread. If your chef knife is incredibly sharp, then it will do the same job too, but
And
a
that's only
serrated is
sharp-
nice.
The serrated is only sharpened on one side, right?
Typically, yes. But look, I mean, you could see we sharpen this knife.
Look, it's like a Ginsu commercial.
Look.
Remember the Ginsu
Yes.
knives?
And
Yeah, right?
it could cut a can and then cut a tomato like this. No, it can't. I can't do either.
Where are
of those
those
things.
Ginsu knives now?
Oh my God.
Does
There
anybody
are.
still have them?
I made fun. You know what? It's gonna happen. I made fun of them once on one of my social platforms, and there's like a Ginsu like cult.
Oh, is
and
there?
And they came at me.
Wow.
My Ginsu is still. I've never sharpened it once. And
I think-
I'm like, no, it is. Don't. I promise
There's
you, it's
no
not
way.
sharp. Yeah.
There's no way you can
Yeah.
use
That's
it.
the thing. I think people like, I don't want to sharpen my knife. I want the knife that you don't have to sharpen. And I'm like,
That knife don't
Why?
exist. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That knife doesn't exist. All right.
Maybe
so
in the future we'll be cutting with lasers. Would that be fun?
with your eyes.
Here, I-
All right, so now I'm just gonna show some like basic how do you hold the knife. So we just have some celery here. So look, instinctively a lot of people wanna do this with the knife. And sometimes you'll see chefs put their top finger on a knife when they're cutting, but typically it's something that has to do with butchering, you know, or that kind of stuff. What you wanna do is you take your forefinger and your thumb, you wrap it around this part of the knife, your other 3 fingers go underneath, and the tang or the back of the knife rests on this little right here. And also when you're shopping for knives, this one is a hollow, but I always look for knives that have a full tang, and that means from the tip of the knife to the back of the knife is one solid piece of steel. Like, so when you're shopping and looking for knives, ask for a knife with a full tang. It's usually a good sign that you're gonna have a well-balanced knife that's gonna last for a long time. So now you have your proper grip, and it's so you have control. You know, for those of you that golf out there, you would never grab your golf club, you know. There's a right way to do it, and it's so you can control it. Then this hand is the guider, the claw. So you curl everything under, including this, you know, bad, good, bad, good. So, and then the side of the knife runs down the front of your claw, and as you move your claw back, that guides where the knife goes. So like I've been doing this my whole life, so I can look at the camera and do this, but you should concentrate more when you're doing it for the first time at home. But the reason that I could do this is because I know that my left hand is guiding my right hand where to go. All right.
We should also. Are you going to talk about how you rock that knife, sort of, on the board, like it doesn't come up off the board?
Oh, I'll talk how I rock it, Clinton. Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
Just check it.
so there's two ways that you could do this. You could, but like for something like celery, then you don't get all the way through. So what Clinton was saying was the rocking technique, where the tip remains on the board, and I'm just rocking it back and forth, going through. And this, I like this technique much better when I'm slicing vegetables, herbs, because I'm getting a full cut through what I'm cutting.
Right.
You know, this doesn't always work that way, although chefs sometimes like to do this because they're like, look how fast I am, look how fast I am, I'm so fast.
Yeah.
And then, but if you went back and you looked at their work, it wouldn't be all the way
Yeah.
through. The other thing too, when you think of a knife is built to do several different things. Like the top of the knife is the thinner part, so when you're doing more delicate work like herbs or delicate items, this is the part of the knife that you want to do the majority of the cutting. When you're cutting meats and stuff or things that are a little bit more harder, you got to break through a chicken bone. The back of the knife is has a little bit more guts to it for that.
And just the rocking on the board, because the knife is in contact with the board so much, that's why you have to keep sharpening your knives, because
Yes.
obviously the board is going to dull it a little bit over
Yeah.
time.
Hey, real quick,
We'll make this fast, we promise.
if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like button right now. Don't wait.
And subscribe. It's free. It costs you nothing. $0.
If you're on Spotify, follow the show. Apple Podcasts, follow. Anywhere you listen, follow.
We are the Chewed Up Show, part of All Chewed Up channel.
And we are everywhere, so if you found us,
Subscribe. Tell your friends and family. It's free, there's no excuse.
Like, subscribe, follow.
do it.
You may have noticed some of the boards and plates we're using. Those are all from Frontgate, including some from my very own collection.
They've got everything from outdoor furniture to decor to entertaining essentials, all made with quality, comfort, and style in mind.
And since most of it is designed in-house, you can't find their pieces anywhere else.
Frontgate, thanks for making our spread look so good.
For more information, go to frontgate.com.
Let's talk about boards, because I think there are a lot of people out there who have glass cutting boards,
Oh.
have ceramic.
Oh.
I mean, if your board is sounding like, it's probably not the right board. I mean, it needs, I don't even know why people sell those.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something right now. There's one type of board that you should own: wood. Period. End of conversation. Wood naturally kills germs. It lasts forever. You could sand it down to smooth it out. Like people got on the weird ceramic board, glass boards, and then those fucking plastic boards. Just get them in multiple colors, and then you know what you're like. And they get big divots in them, and they absorb germs. They're nasty as shit. Get a good wood. Oh, it makes me insane. Get a good wood cutting board. A company like Booz makes beautiful boards. It will last you a lifetime. It won't spread germs. It won't have big divots in it.
Won't give you microplastics.
It won't give you microplastics in your poop or wherever the microplastics
In your brain.
go.
They live in
your brain. Duh. Oh, but I have them in all different colors. Like do my chicken on this one, and on like.
And they go in the dishwasher.
Oh my God! Get a wooden board, scrub it, clean it. You know, rub it. You could like a little bit of bleach and water works great.
Yeah.
Salt and water works great. Lemon and salt works great. Oil it every once in a while so it doesn't dry and break up. And I have wooden cutting boards at home that I've had for 25 years.
Wow.
Really got it going, didn't
Yeah,
it?
glad you got that out of your system.
Okay, last two things. So the herbs, same thing as we did with the celery. Like with a soft herb like parsley, I would just roll it up like this. It would be a rocking motion. My left hand would guide. And like if I said chiffonade, I would just go a very fine slice all the way through. I tend to cut my herbs in this manner more so than not, because when you start getting crazy and doing all this stuff, another like you would see it on TV because chefs are trying to show that they could cook.
All on the...
Yeah, all the oil's coming out of the herbs, and now you're flavoring your cutting board, not your food. So I just kind of get them as fine as I can and try to do it in one pass. Last thing, how to cut an onion. So there are two, you either want to slice or dice, basically. Both things, whether we're slicing or dicing, we cut the onion in half.
Keeping the root You cut it in half through the root end. You know
I
what
cut
mean? Like-
from the root
Yeah.
to the tip.
Yes.
This way.
Yes. So both halves will have some of the root. Keep that in mind.
Correct.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interject, but like
I love your interjection, Clinton. You're the greatest
Interjections.
interjection.
show excitement or emotions, usually said apart from sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong.
If I go over time, Nick, I want it to be noted that it wasn't I, says the fly. All right, so if you're slicing, you cut off both ends, the root and the tip.
That's if you're slicing it.
And then you take off any, like a layer. This has a little bit of skin on it, so I'm just gonna take off one layer. And then you just slice straight down. Or
That's for your half moon shape.
from front to back. And then you have these nice sliced onions. If you are dicing, you leave the root on to hold it, take off the tip, give it the peel. All right, and then we go down the middle towards the root about 95% of the way back, like so.
Don't go all the way through.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm doing like the play-by-play.
I give the play-by-play. You know, when there's moments of silence, he's silence. When I start talking, he starts talking. It's like a game. I look at the look. I love that look. All right, ready for the play-by-play, Clinton?
Yeah, okay.
All right, so now we're gonna dice. So first we're gonna go back towards the onion, or back towards the root.
Oh, I'm doing the play-by-play?
Yeah.
I don't want to do the play-by-play. I changed my mind.
All right, so we're going back.
Standard 30 seconds.
the
okay?
We're going
pressure's
back
on, I
towards
like
the
it.
root, and we're following the curve of the onion.
Meeting radially. Right.
Thank you. I knew I could get you to talk.
Yeah.
Then we spin it.
I don't like being told what to do.
He just
Yeah.
wanted to say radio. So then we spin it, and we go straight down the other way, and we get the beautiful dice of the onion. And that's it. And like the more you do it, the faster you will get, and the more joyous cooking will become.
Yes, and when your knife is nice and sharp, it's going to be a pleasure.
Right. And you could also slice radially also, all the way around. But it just depends what you're doing.
The other thing, when your knife is sharp, you will cry less when you're cutting your
yes.
onions.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
You just watched me cut an onion, slice and dice.
No more tears.
No tears.
No tears, no Botox, no eye jobs, just glasses. Oh, still got nothing to say.
We're out of time. Thank you
No, we
so
gotta know.
much.
Fan of the day.
Oh, fan of the day.
Fan of the
All right, I'm going here. We're gonna set.
You are the fan of the day.
You are the blank of the fan of the day. You are the what? You are the fuff fan of the day.
Okay,
No.
here we go.
Sounds a little like he's saying you're the effing fan of the day, but anyway.
You are the fucking fan of the day.
Pretty awesome, actually.
Lisa with a Y
Oh, Lisa.
from Seattle. We're gonna send you a personalized message. Yay! Video. Thank you, Michael. This was very.
This was great.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
I loved every second of today's show, except for the end. You asshole.
He loves me.
Have a fabulous day,
inside.
everybody.
Have a
Bye.
great day, everybody.
Chewed Up. Thanks for tuning in to Chewed Up, and thanks to our sponsors, Fresh Direct and Frontgate, for making this show possible. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. To subscribe, snag recipes, and dig into all the extra fun, head to allchewedup.com, or just click subscribe to Chewed Up Show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Now go and make a mess in your own kitchen.